Stocks today couldn't settle on a direction, and they ended the day with a modest gain. Elizabeth Faublas is at the New York Stock Exchange, and she tells us what forces were in play. Liz?
Hello, Pam. How are you? Well, a lot of back and forth today. Very little conviction, as you mentioned, one way or the other, and a couple of factors at play. On one hand, still seeing a lot of concern about a slowdown in the global economic recovery. Today, China stirring the worries after officials there ordered banks to raise reserves in an effort to cool inflation. Now, one very well-respected Wall Street strategist, that's Jeff Sott, who manages $240 billion in assets, telling Bloomberg China really weighing on psychology. Everything else is, quote, in the rear window. Now, adding to the pressure, Allied Irish Banks, which is Ireland's second biggest bank, saying it has tripled its reliance on funding from central banks since the end of June. Now, this, of course, has investors concerned that Europe's financial stability with regard to indebtedness is on pretty shaky ground. Well, add to that some better than expected corporate profits to the mix from companies like Salesforce.com, offering a glimmer of encouragement, just enough to stem those losses. And take a look at the numbers. Investors really liked what they heard from there. We had the Dow up 22 points and the S&P and the NASDAQ adding 3 points on the day.
Now, Liz, PIMCO, I understand that, PIMCO, which manages the world's largest mutual fund, the bond fund, is investing in the banking industry. They're setting up a separate fund. How much money are we talking about?
Well, Pam, how about $1 billion for an eye-popping number? Now, the company is setting up that fund. They're going to be buying distressed bank shares, and they're doing so in order to invest in the real estate trust once these banks are starting to get into the rules that they're being established, because there are certain ratios that the banks have to maintain now after the credit crisis really hit them so hard. So PIMCO, along with several other companies, investing billions of dollars to kind of benefit from the cheap prices of these banking and real estate REITs that are out there right now. So they're not alone. There are other companies that are doing so as well. And PIMCO already having $5 billion, Pim, invested in that. So we can see a lot more from PIMCO and from other companies investing in these banking real estates.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Elizabeth Faublas, joining us from the New York Stock Exchange.